Although for several decades after the release of Star Wars, the birth of Anakin Skywalker was a total mystery, in Legends continuity we do have confirmation how and why Anakin was born. Although I've made videos on this in the past, I wanted to make one very simple one that explains the concept on how the Force itself made Anakin and why. To start though, we have to go back to Darth Plagueis, who is the true reason why Skywalker was born. Plagueis did something unlike any of the Sith Lords before him, and that was study the midichlorians, which went against the will of the Force itself. No Sith Lord besides Darth Plagueis had ever overstepped his bounds so far with the Force. Darth Plagueis was fascinated with eternal life and wanted nothing more to ensure that he would never die. Because of this, for his entire life he studied the midichlorians, which was in Star Wars the source of all life and the Force itself. Unfortunately for Darth Plagueis though, over time he discovered that he by himself was never powerful enough to make the midichlorians do his own will. It was for this reason that Darth Plagueis decided to take on an apprentice, and a Sith apprentice far more powerful than any before them. Originally, Plagueis had no desire to take on an apprentice, but when Palpatine was revealed to him, he decided that the Force itself was willing this to happen. After Palpatine was fully trained in the dark side of the Force, he and Plagueis meditated for months. They did this for the sole purpose of making the Force fall out of balance and tip it towards the dark side. Essentially, the two Sith Lords wanted there to be more dark side in the galaxy than light side, but the Force requires balance. However, with the combined might of Darth Plagueis and Darth Sidious, they were successful. It was at this point that Darth Plagueis discovered the ability that he could bring those back to life who had died by using the midichlorians. After the Force had shifted to the darkness, he discovered he was far more powerful than before. The first person that Darth Plagueis brought back to life was an old rival of his named Darth Venomous. Following this though, Plagueis swiftly killed him yet again, after confirmation that he had successfully achieved power over life and death. It was at this point that Darth Plagueis wanted to achieve total dominance over the Force, and reached out with his new powers to the midichlorians directly. Unfortunately though, Darth Plagueis had overestimated his own power. It was because of this and Darth Plagueis' transgressions that the midichlorians retaliated. The Force itself retaliated in creating a being that would one day destroy the Sith. This is why in the Darth Plagueis novel, Plagueis blames himself for the fact that the Sith will one day be destroyed. This being that was of course conceived by the Force itself was Anakin Skywalker. If you want to look about it in a very roundabout way, Darth Plagueis is somewhat the father of Anakin Skywalker. It was because of Plagueis' actions against the Force and the Force retaliating that Skywalker was born. Again though, this is a very condensed story about the birth of Anakin Skywalker and how Darth Plagueis was directly responsible. This is also why though Anakin was destined to destroy the Sith, as the Force itself willed Skywalker to do so eventually. But what are your thoughts on this very condensed version of the birth of Anakin Skywalker and how Darth Plagueis was inadvertently responsible for it? I would love to hear all of your thoughts on it in the comments down below, and again, this is strictly Legends continuity. Thank you guys as always so much for watching, may the Force be with you, and have a great day.